Hello, everybody, and welcome back to. Oop, why is the screen black? Okay, hopefully the screen's not black. I'm just gonna double check something real fast. And I see a screen, and I'm gonna go full screen. Awesome sauce. Cool. Welcome back to Let's Play Planescape Torment. We just had fun in the mortuary with Mort, the mortuary. And now we are in the middle of nowhere. Just kidding. We're actually in the centerpiece of the plains known as Sigil. So what does one do in Sigil, you ask? Well, really anything. And we do what I'm doing right now, which is explore as much as I can. And by the way, the map to this game is, where is it? I know there's a button for it. Lock view on character, open dialog window. Map screen. The map's actually pretty big. Like, it probably doesn't look big to you guys right now, but that little map clicker that I just did is going to really come in handy down the road. So, now, I just gave a big old middle finger to the Dustmen and entered into the land of Sigil, where there are thieves and hookers aplenty. Why is this important? Well, it will be important down the road, and I'll share that later. They actually serve a purpose. There's all sorts of madness happening in this town. And we're going to find out about it more. Come chat with me, love. Seeking company, are ya? I told you there are hookers everywhere. And for the record, they actually are, like, yeah, harlot. I didn't name them. The game named them. And if you think the naming's bad, the designs of the characters are much skimpier. Which I'm sure there's a bunch of people who are going to watch this and be like, yes, cute girls in tight clothes. I am okay with this. But then there's me who's just chilling here like, you know what? Ooh, I never seen such a sad sack in my life. That is Anna. And we're going to love her down the road. She's, Mort, I'm sorry, she is one of my favorite characters. But for now, what I actually want to do is notice that it is nighttime already. I want to find a place to rest. So we will do that, I believe, here? This is a tomb. This is not the kind of sleep I was looking for. But I will take what is here. Copper Commons? I've actually never seen this. Ooh, interesting. It has been written in remarkable penmanship upon the finest parchment. Vaxis, if you are reading this, then you have undoubtedly failed in your task and have been forced to use the escape route I arranged. Your little disguise idea was ridiculous. In any case, you'll need to lay low for a while. The Dustmen may be deluded, but they are fools. They will certainly seek retribution for our intrusion. The coins, use them to secure a hiding place in the hive, preferably in Ragpicker Square. The Dustmen will be unwilling to look for you there. Once you have secured a new hiding place... Oh, this is giving... New hiding place. I have a new mission for you. Find out where Farode is getting those bodies he's delivering to the mortuary. It's apparently causing the Dustmen a great deal of upset, and I wouldn't mind knowing myself. Reports are that the stone-faced Dustmen at the Gathering Dust Bar... Holy crap, this is long. Initiate Emorik, I think the fool's name is, has been sending out finders to try and mark Farad's movements. See if you can find out how far along he is and hinder his efforts until we know about Farad's activities. I don't want Emorik finding out something before we do. Pen. Okay, so not actually a side quest, but more just a notice that just kind of driving in the fact that Farad really is hated by everybody. He's a scumbag and kind of deserves everything that comes his way. But what I need to find is a place to sleep. And here we are. Hello, Angyar. This man looks haunted. His eyes are half lit, as if he has trouble sleeping. His hair is long and unkempt, his beard feckled with bits of dead skin and old bits of food. He doesn't seem to notice as you approach. Greetings. The man glances upon the Sunday voice and his black expression vanishes. It looks like someone has lit two fires in his eyes. What be your business barging into my house? His eyes narrow and his teeth clench. Git, or I'll send you back to whatever grave you crawled from. So I could be a jerk, or I could be a real jerk, like absolutely murderous, or I could just be, me. Calm yourself. I had some questions. The man's face turned blood red and he begins shouting, Are you daft? You filthy scar-ridden dog! Off with you, or even the powers won't be able to save your hide. Farewell then. You'd best never cross my door again, you rich stinking bastard. So he wants to leave. So I'm going to talk to his wife. Looks to be in her middle years, and her hair streaks of gray. Her hair has streaks of gray running through it. Lines of worry crisscross her face. As she sees you, she seems torn between asking you to leave and calling for the man at the table. Greetings. You'd best leave, for I call my husband. He won't take kindly to you having barged your way into our home. You're going to call some. You would have done so already. I have questions for you. I've not the time, stranger. Do not be troubling me with such things. Excuse me, are you all right? Me? Oh, aye. She lowers her voice. You'd best leave. My husband is not himself as of late. You'd best not provoke him with your presence. I spoke to him. He seems troubled. What's wrong with him? Yeah, troubled. That's a word for it. He's been out of sorts of late. A touch of cough, maybe? An unconvincing half shrug. Okay, what's really wrong with him? I think he's done something he regrets. Her worried expression melts into despair. I think he signed one of the dead contracts. I cannot imagine what caused him to do such a foolish thing. What's a contract? The dead, the Dustmen, contracts that give them right to someone's body after they die. What does Dustmen do with the body after death? Animate it with their black magics, turn it into one of them walking deads and make it a worker till it rots away. Why did your husband sign such a thing? He may have been goat eager to bring home some more jink than custom. Translation: jink is another word for coin, similar to copper. So whenever someone says jink, they're talking about money. It is not a racist slur, I promise. He's prideful, but I think he's hurt himself more by doing so. Can this contract be undone? See, he's surprised and sighs. I've tried. I've spoken to the dustman he did the signing with. Cold and chill like all the dusties. He even lectured me on my as if I had no right to try and help him. He was cold and cruel, he was. Let me do. Who was the dustman that your husband signed a contract with? The dusty called himself Grayson. I know not his first name. He has a table at the dustman bar in the hive, gathering dust. I believe the place is gathering dust, I believe the place is named. You can most like find him there. Want to try that English again? You can most like find him there. Oh, that's right. Trying to get more people to sign his contracts. Seek him out then. Where's updated my journal? He headed out to the south street outside. Go to the memorial stone and head south and west from there. His finger against her chin. You should run right into it. There's one of them walking corpses out front. I'll see what I can do. I won't turn away such a friendly gesture. But I must ask you not to let on I asked you to do such a thing. My husband has a terrible temper, and if he were to find out... I promise that your husband will not find out. Thank you, stranger. I appreciate your help. No trouble. I'll go see about undoing your husband's contract now. So the whole reason for doing this is I'm trying to do a little good. This game is all about exploring and finding people. By the way, that's not a name. Dabus is actually what he is. And we'll get around to that later because there's an important one that we'll have to talk to. No, I'm not seeking company. No, you're not that lovely. Chief, what are we doing here? I say we give this place the laugh and get the heck out. says Mort, standing behind me in the audible moment. Mordecai Gravesend. Yeah, you'll notice that everyone in here is either dead or a dustman, which I am not fine with. You, stranger, speak with me for a moment. Well, here's Mordecai Gravesend, who we've wanted to find right away. This tiny, wizened man is dwarfed by his huge. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. He looks to be in his late 90s. This man is extremely. He fidgets continuously at his on the bar like a bird's. Tweet, tweet. Raven, greetings. The man gleam as he takes your measure. He gives a slight nod and greeting. Hail and well met, traveler. You look like one who is just getting their Sigil legs about them. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. No, at least I don't recall you. Maybe I was mistaken. Well, no matter, no matter. How is it that Ty Grey may help you? Do you seek the contract, perhaps? Mordecai Gravesend, are you the dustman who signed the contract with Angyar? Mordecai frowns. He looks puzzled. Mayhap. I do not recall the name, however. I would like to settle that contract. I'm afraid that is impossible. It is signed, settled, and binding. The contract is apart. Is there a way I might be able to settle the contract with you? So, a few options coming up here. Because I am playing as a wizard, and as you may have seen in the first episode, I focused on intelligence and wisdom. These are very important communication skills. The only one I probably could have put a little more into is charisma. But that aside, what I am going to do here is I could either try to use the muscles I totally do not have and attempt to kill him, which will not resolve the problem. Hand over the contract right now, or I'll put you where you stand. I can't bluff him either. But instead, I'm going to use my intelligence and cunning to end this contract. It's tearing the man's life apart. Mordai shakes his head. That is indeed unfortunate, but it is now a matter of law, not a matter of heart. Let's see. We'll settle the contract with you. No. Settle the contract with you. Updated my journal. It is now a matter of law, not a matter of discussion. But the contract is tearing the man's life apart. There should be... what? Just curious, farewell. Is there something wrong? Forgive me, I must ask again. Are you sure we have not met before? Possibly, I do not recall you. Well, no matter. Yes, farewell. Something about that one. Okay, so I am actually going to quick save because I could easily, and I mean easily, screw this up. So new save. I hate Dustmen. Kiss my undead. Well, you get the idea. Save. Traveler. Contract, perhaps. Okay, I'm going to play this round again, and hopefully... Okay, do you have the contract with you? Well, I do not normally keep documents with me, but it may be that... No, I don't have it with me. I can fetch from one of the back rooms. If you could, I'd like to see it. Hold on a moment. Okay, here we go. I need to actually look over the parchment. There it is, sir. Angyar, very somber fellow, quick to sign. And now a much richer fellow. If you glance over the contract, it looks genuine, very official. Very well, it all looks in order. Questions about his contract? I'd like to settle the contract. Okay, so... Maybe I'll settle with you. But the contract is tearing the man's life apart. Is there any way... Hold on, I'm supposed to... Very well then, I had other questions. Searching for him... Okay. Can I see the contract? Okay. Tell me about that contract again. Why it is simple. What do Dustmen do? What do Dustmen do with the body? Consequence to pass. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to go back and read this for you guys. Okay, Mordai shakes his head. That is indeed unfortunate, but it's a matter of law. We went through all of that. So I actually missed a step. I am supposed to ask him about the contract first and what it does and learn more about it. Tell me about the contract again. Because speaking with Dahl has taught me what the Dustmen believe in. What do the Dustmen do with the body? A consequence when you pass on. It matters to me. Well, if you must know, oft times nothing is done with the body, and it is we, the dustmen, who have wasted all that money. More fools us. But rarely there are times when the workers in the mortuary need to be replaced, and then we may have need of your body. What do you mean an animated corpse would work in the mortuary? That doesn't sound good. Ah, no harm is done, no pain, and there is no danger. In exchange for money you can spend in this life, you merely have to give us something that you will have no need of once you need. I signed the contract to myself, if you must know. I shall have no need of my body when I pass on. Other questions for you. Can you tell me about the patrons here? Actually, I don't know any of their names. Never mind. Searching for a man named Farad. He's one of those collectors, isn't he? I know little of him. I think Initiate Emmerich mentioned him passing. Emmerich should be around here in the bar somewhere. He can usually be found in the far corner of the head table, I believe. That is all I wish to know. Farewell. Something wrong? No, I don't believe so. Farewell. Okay. So, I think I need to actually talk with a couple of these dustmen about my greetings. Dustman looks up. You look troubled, Norochi. Norochi? I don't know how to pronounce that name. Troubled, yes. What's wrong? Many troubles have I. Help can you. A mausoleum wakes, the dead walk, the dead disturbed, the dustmen disturbed. Find out what disturbs the undead, and copper coins I'll pay. Very well, where is this mausoleum? Mausoleum by Dustman Memorial. Go north and west of this from the Black Monument. Go to the arch and arch and a semicircle over your this finger make. To the mausoleum go, you will. I'm imagining like a mega Yoda voice on this dude just because of how he's phrased. By the way, I'm sure you remember from the last episode that Deonara mentioned doors and portals in Sigil. These doors and portals literally can be caused by anything. How much of anything? Well, hopefully we'll come across a Sigilian that can tell you how badly this can go. Because I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, cool, I whistle a tune and I wind up in a whole other world. That's awesome. Yeah, sometimes it's really bad. So there. You look lost, sir. Let's see. Greetings. You have the look of one lost. Did the wind send you, or are you here on purpose? Who are you? I'm Emmerich, totem and initiate of the Fourth Circle. Is this your bar? If you measure ownership in copper, if you measure ownership in spirit, it is mine. The dustmen here are my students. They are under protection. Can I ask you some questions? Is this your bar? Like to join the Dustmen? I would like to join the Dustmen faction. Screw you very much. You can tell me all the dead contacts. I've come here in search of a journal. These eyes have seen no journal. Perhaps you search elsewhere. Very well. I have other questions. A man named Farad. I would know why you seek the correct collector Farad. He stole something from me. Why do you want to know my business with Farad? The collector has brought many corpses to the mortuary as of late. One must ask where these bodies are from. Hmm. Tell me more about the bodies. Some are recent dead. They still have their last moments in their eyes. Many more bodies are centuries dead. The dust of ages lies upon their bones. One must ask where these bodies are from. Perhaps I could find out where these bodies are from. Do such a thing. I could track down Farad and ask him. If you spoke with the collector Farad and returned with his answers, you will have done a great service for the Dustmen. Find where the dead he brings are from, and you will be rewarded. Yes, I'm going to collect every side quest I can on this Let's Play because I love this game, and I failed to do that my first time around. There was a point where I finally was just like, screw it, let's get on with the story. But I learned that most of the fun of this game really is just talking to people. Emmerich nods. Your path is our path. Return here when you have Collector Fraud's answers. Can you tell me where he is? It is not known where the Collector Fraud is. He hides from the eyes of the Dustmen. I would seek other collectors if you ask him questions. Very well, I had questions. Can you tell me about the dead contracts? Which is signed a dead contract. What is it exactly? The copper piece. Which is sign the dead contract. No, I had some other questions I want to ask. Can you tell me the Dustman faction? Dustmen seek the true death. Here we go! This is what I had to learn. Dustmen seek the true death. Some call it oblivion, but this is incorrect. To Dustmen, the true death is freedom from the chains of this false life. This life that many cling to their emotions is a false existence. How long have I been recording? As long as one clings to it, they will continually be reborn into it. One must divest English, themselves of emotion to escape the cycle. I see. Can you tell me about how your faction is organized? Dustmen are organized into 5 circles. The 5th circle is made of the lowest rank of Dustmen. The first circle is comprised of the highest ranking Dustmen, the ruling body of our faction. I had some... Actually, no, I must take my... So that was actually important that I learn about the eternal death, because that is essential to the Dustman way. So now here I'll talk to Seer the Skeptic. Approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. La, look who comes a-calling on Seer today. Death's dearest son. Seer then shakes her head in disbelief. By every power in its mother, boy, what crypt did you fall out of? I'm fresh from the mortuary, actually. No, that would be the wrong thing to say. I didn't crawl out of any crypt. Oh, God. She frowns with her face ringing like crumpled parchment. Right then, what coffin did you crawl out of? One of those shoddy splint coffin at Hamir's? Like, give corpses splinters, I hear. That's not been worth a clipped coffin since his father died. Who's Hamir's? Hamir's coffin breaker, coffin maker, in the lower ward. Inherited the shop when his father died. Much to the shame of every corpse needing a coffin, crypt, tombstone, and sigil. What happened to his father? Those ears just for show, boy. He died, she mumbles. His son talked him to death, most likely. That boy's tongue rattling. I'm surprised he doesn't shake his head loose from his shoulders. You two sound like you have a lot in common, then. Now, information. Can I ask some questions? Zay, ask crypt crawler. I didn't crawl out of a... Dustman, can you tell me about him here? Have you seen Jordan recently? I'm searching for a man named Farad. Listen to the front. That dog! He's the worst of the collector lot. I had his kip set up somewhere in Radpicker Square. Many west of the mortuary gate. Dangerous place, though. Some of the collectors aren't patient enough to wait for folks to die so they can sell them for jink. Collectors? They're vermin that scavenge the bowels of the hive for bodies to sell to the dustmen. Make a living off of the dead. A motley breed. Makes you ashamed to share the same city with them. At least they help keep the streets clean. I had other questions. Are you a dustman? A dustman? I suppose. I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. This body's almost ready to pay the ferryman. But there's not much mirth in it. Are you afraid of dying? Course I am, boy. Who isn't? She frowns and glances around. Well, except the dustmen. Not afraid because they've been swallowing so much of their own bat droppings over the decades that they've blinded themselves into thinking that it's some sort of release. They've been blinded? But that's all, folks. It is a release of a sort. You don't sound much like a dustman. So what sparked this crisis of faith? Life, I suppose. It... never you mind. I won't bore you with the niggling details. I'd like to know, actually. Oh, what? She looks at you skittlingly. How old do you take me for, boy? Let her down gently. Old. Not too old. Rather youngish. I don't know and I don't care. Some questions. I don't know and I don't care. That's actually true. You are the one who asked me to out of my boombox, boy. I'd be careful what you ask for in the future. Well, shut up. Time other words with you. Oh, boo. Well, alright. What'd I Gravesend? Can I see the contract they signed? Well, it looks in order. I'd like to settle the contract. The contract is... Here it is. The contract is tearing the man's life apart. It is causing him distress. It is possible he may not even be able to approach true death with such emotion in his mind. Bam! Take faith and shove it up your robe. Or I choose it over for a moment. It looks like you've negotiated him into a corner. I cannot. It is a matter of law, my friend. Besides, the burden lies upon the signer to overcome his own feeling of death. I cannot... So what you're saying is that you'll deny true death for the sake of a piece of parchment? Look, it is not how you're making it out to be. You obviously hold the philosophy of the Dustmen in contempt to damn a man's soul over a piece. Do the other members of your faction know you conducted this in this regard? If not, they soon will. By the 9 hells. Here! All for a man's peace of mind. None. I will. Farewell. So what we just did is we just took Gravesend, cornered him on his own Dustman fanatic faith, and make our way all the way back here, House of Xeshire, where I will very happily talk to this angry man. Show him the Dustman contract. As you pull out the contract, the blood drains out of Xeshire's face. For a moment, he seems at a loss for words. Then his temper quickly resurfaces. Where did you get that? By the powers, you best tell me. You tear up the parchment, and Xeshire's eyes follow the bits of paper as they float to the ground with a desperate look. He shudders slightly, then straightens, as if a great weight was lifted from him. Ye? He looks at you as if about to thank you. Nothing's free. Not in the hive, Cutter. So Cutter, in Sigilian lingo, is like the equivalent chump or bud. Like I don't know New York speak, but whenever they're like, listen up, chump, or just something like thug talk, street talk, consider this free. Need a favor in the future. Help me. I ransomed my life to one man already, and I'm not going to do it again. We'll settle this debt now. Could use a place to rest. That's the least I can do. I'll have me wife get some blankets out for you. Thanks, I didn't want to rest just yet. I had some questions. Ask you a question. I'm looking for a man named Farad. Can you tell me where to find him? Aye, that name be known to me, and not a fond name it is either. What can you tell me about him? He's one of them collectors, and one with a long shadow. He's quite a few boys at his beck and call. He may not be the lord of the realm, but not a smart one to tangle with. No. Do you know where I can find him? Hey, but I wouldn't be doing you a favor telling Telling it to you. When the McKinn fell into his lot a few months back and spilled some of his dark of old fraud, to hear tell, Fraud's actually got his kit buried somewhere under Ragpicker Square. To get it, there's some kind of portal you need to jump through while carrying some junk in your hand. Remember how I said even is helpful? Keywording. There's Ragpicker Square. Just a few blocks from here. Go straight west from the mortuary gate. Keep going until you start seeing trash and rags piled up everywhere. You'd do best to walk careful there. The collectors don't always wait for a body to die before collecting a corpse, you hear? Thanks, I had some questions. Do you mind if I rest here? Thanks. I have not only rested, but in that little side quest and communication, I have leveled up. So, yeah, you start off as a fighter, and now I have a point that I'm gonna put that in my charisma because I want to trouble. I want to look good looks. Am I charming already? I am actually gonna call this a good saving point and a good point to end the stream as well. So, let us this. Yes, I'm gonna overwrite that save. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Well, okay, I'm gonna do it this way instead because I'm having fun naming these saves. New save. Recording 2. I helped a dude. No. According to Nuts to Dust. Men. Perfect. Alright, thank you guys very much for coming in. It's been a lovely day, and I will hopefully see you again soon.